ho, ho. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Story Time by Santa. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these wonderful stories that Santa is going to read to you, your family members, and your children. I hope you have a wonderful time. And if you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Santa loves you. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you got your hot cocoa ready, because Santa's ready to read another couple stories. Are you ready for another adventure? The Christmas Bear's Big Adventure. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cabin tucked away in the snowy mountains, there lived a special bear named Benny. Benny was no ordinary bear. He was a Christmas bear, known for his soft shimmering fur that sparkled like the night sky on Christmas Eve. Every year, Benny would help Santa in his workshop making toys and wrapping gifts for children all around the world. Benny loved Christmas more than anything else, but this year something unexpected was about to happen that would change Benny's Christmas forever. One frosty December morning, as Benny was busy tying bows on presents, Santa called him over. "Benny," Santa said with a twinkle in his eye, "this year I have a very important mission for you." Benny's eyes widened with excitement. "What is it, Santa? Do I get to help guide the sleigh or maybe deliver presents with you?" "Ha!" Santa chuckled. "Not quite, Benny. This year I need you to deliver a very special gift. There's a little boy named Lucas who lives far up in the mountains. He's been going through a tough time, and all he asked for this Christmas was a friend. I want you to be that friend and bring him the most important gift of all, joy." Benny's heart swelled with pride, but then a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. "But Santa, I've never been on such a long journey alone. What if I get lost? What if I don't know the way?" Santa smiled warmly and placed a hand on Benny's shoulder. "You're braver than you think, Benny. The important thing is to believe in yourself, just like I believe in you." Feeling reassured, Benny packed his red Christmas bag filled with toys and a soft blanket for Lucas. With a wave from Santa and the jingling bells from the sleigh, Benny set off on his adventure. The snow was deep, the wind howled as Benny trudged through the mountains. He passed towering trees dressed in glittering snow and crossed frozen rivers that sparkled under the winter sun. But as night began to fall, the snowstorm grew stronger and the path became harder to follow. Benny started to feel worried. What if I can't make it to Lucas? What if I'm too late? He sat down on a snowy rock, feeling the cold and loneliness creep in, but then Benny remembered what Santa had said. Believe in yourself. Taking a deep breath, Benny stood up, looked around, and noticed something magical. The North Star shone brightly above him, lighting the path ahead. With a new hope in his heart, Benny followed the star's glow through the storm, and after a long trek, Benny finally reached Lucas's cabin. Tired but triumphant, Benny knocked on the door. A little boy with a wide, curious eyes opened it. Lucas, surprised to see a sparkling Christmas bear on his doorstep. Who are you?" Lucas asked, rubbing his eyes in disbelief. "I'm Benny the Christmas Bear, and I've come to be your friend," Benny said, with a big warm smile. Lucas's face lit up with joy as he invited Benny inside. They spent the evening talking, laughing, and playing with the toys Benny had brought. Lucas told Benny about his dreams and hopes, and Benny listened with a kind heart. As the night went on, Benny realized something important. Even though he had been afraid of the journey, he had made it because he believed in himself, and because helping Lucas was more important than his own fears. The next morning, as the sun peeked over the mountains and the storm cleared, Lucas hugged Benny tightly. "Thank you, Benny. This is the best Christmas I've ever had." Benny smiled, knowing that he had given Lucas the most precious gift of all, friendship and joy. And so, Benny learned that even when we face challenges or doubts, believing in ourselves and thinking about how we can help others can guide us through the toughest of times. With a heart full of happiness, Benny returned to the North Pole, ready for his next big adventure. The end. Life lesson: the story teaches children the importance of believing in themselves and helping others, even when things seem difficult. Benny's journey showed that kindness and courage can overcome fear, and that the greatest gift we can give is often just being there for someone who needs us. Wow! Wasn't that awesome? Isn't that exciting, ladies and gentlemen? Here's number 2, the Snow Fairy's First Christmas. In a magical land far, far away, where the snow never melted and the trees were always draped in sparkling frost, lived a little snow fairy named Lilla. Lilla had shimmering wings made of ice crystals, and wherever she flew, snowflakes would follow, dancing in the wind like tiny stars. This year was very special for Lilla. It was her first Christmas as a snow fairy, and she had been waiting all year for this moment. In the Snowy Kingdom, Christmas was the most magical time, when the snow fairies would travel to the North Pole to help Santa and his elves prepare for the big day. They would sprinkle Christmas cheer everywhere they went, making the snow sparkle brighter and filling the air with joy. Lilla wouldn't complain. She couldn't wait. But there was one problem. She didn't know what her special Christmas task would be. Every snow fairy had a unique job during Christmas. Some helped decorate the Christmas trees, others made snow dance in beautiful patterns, and the most experienced ones even helped guide Santa's sleigh through snowy skies. As Christmas Eve drew near, Lilla's excitement grew. The older snow fairies talked about their past adventures, but Lilla began to feel a little nervous. What if she wasn't ready? What if she didn't know how to help? One day, while the snow fairies were gathered around the Frost King, who ruled over the snowy lands, he looked at Lilla with a kind eye. "Lilla," he said, "this will be your first Christmas. I have a very important mission for you." Lilla's heart fluttered with excitement and nervousness. "What is it, Frost King?" "I need you to go to the North Pole and help Santa deliver a special gift to a little girl named Mia. Mia lives in a special village at the end of the snowy forest, and this year she wished for something very special: hope." Lilla tilted her head in confusion. "Hope? How can I deliver hope?" The Frost King smiled. "Hope is a very powerful thing, Lilla. It shines brightness when times are tough." Mia's family had a very difficult year, and they needed something to remind them that better days are ahead. You, my dear, are the perfect fairy to deliver that gift. Lilla wasn't sure how she could bring hope to someone, but she trusted the Frost King. With a flick of his hand, he gave her a beautiful snowflake pendant that glowed softly. "Take this with you. It will guide you. And so with her wings fluttering in the icy wind, Lila set off on her first Christmas mission. The North Pole was a wonderland of twinkling lights, jingling bells, and bustling elves preparing for Christmas Eve. Lila marveled at the magic of Santa's workshop, but she didn't have time to stay long. She had to find Mia before Christmas morning. Flying through snowy skies, Lila finally reached the little village where Mia lived. The houses were covered in snow and the trees sparkled with frost, but as Lila flew closer, she noticed that Mia's house was quiet and dim, without the unusual Christmas cheer. Lila peeked through the window and saw Mia sitting by the fire holding a small teddy bear. Her parents were nearby, looking worried. Lila could feel the sadness in the air. "I have to bring hope here," Lila whispered to herself, but how? Just then the snowflake pendant around her neck began to glow brighter. It filled the room with soft, warm light that made Mia look up in surprise. Lila, invisible to the human eye, fluttered inside and gently sprinkled snowflakes around the room. Mia's eyes widened as she saw the snow twinkle like stars in her house. She ran to the window where she saw something amazing outside. The snowflakes had formed a trail leading to the Christmas tree in the village square. The tree, which had been dark, suddenly lit up with the most beautiful lights Mia had ever seen. She gasped in daylight, and her parents came over to see what had happened. As they stood by the window, watching the snow sparkle and the trees glow, something shifted. The worry on their faces softened, and their smiles spread across Mia's face. "I think it's going to be okay," Mia whispered to her teddy bear. Lila watched from above, felt her heart fill with warmth. She had done it. She had brought hope to Mia and her family, not through a present or something you could wrap in paper, but through the magic of Christmas, the magic of believing that things would be better. The snowflake pendant glowed one last time, and Lila knew her mission was complete. As she flew back to the snowy kingdom, she thought about what the Frost King had told her. Hope isn't something you can see or touch, but it's always there like a warm light in the coldest night. But Lila returned to the Frost King. He smiled at her proudly. "You did well, Lila. You brought hope where it was needed most." Lila beamed with pride, knowing that her first Christmas as a snow fairy had been a success. And from that day on, every Christmas, Lila would remember that the greatest gift of all isn't something you find under the tree. It's the gift of hope, which shines even in the darkest of times. The end. Here's your life lesson. The story teaches children that hope is a powerful gift, especially in tough times. Even when things seem difficult, believing that things can get better can bring light onto the darkest moments. Lila's adventure shows that sometimes the most important gifts we give aren't material. They're feelings of love, joy, and hope we share with others. Wow! Isn't that amazing, boys and girls? Have a wonderful evening. Santa loves you. Ho, 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 ho!